The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. Welcome back to the Berean Pursuit. This is week 11, day 1. Today's reading is from Numbers chapters 26 through 29 and Luke chapter 2. In the reading last time in Numbers, we read about Balaam and how he was called out as a prophet by the king of Moab, whose name was Balak, and he was asked to curse Israel, who was camped next to Moab. But instead of cursing them, he blessed them, and God ensured that he would do that by having this situation with the angel in the road on the way, which he could not see, and then the donkey speaking to him. That we read about all of that last time. And so he did bless the Israelites rather than cursing them. But then we saw that the people sinned when these women from the Moabites and Midianites came in, and they committed fornication with them, and they worshipped their idols there at Peor, worshiping Baal of Peor. So while they were not cursed by the prophet of God, but rather blessed, they did bring a curse on themselves and destruction on themselves through their rejection of God and their acceptance of a false god and breaking God's law through fornication. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the reading for today in Numbers chapters 26 through 29. After the plague had ended, the Lord said to Moses and Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, "Take a census of the whole congregation of Israel by the houses of their fathers, all those 20 years of age or older who can serve in the army of Israel." So on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, Moses and Eleazar the priest issued the instruction, "Take a census of the men 20 years of age or older, as the Lord has commanded Moses." And these were the Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt. Reuben was the firstborn of Israel. These were the descendants of Reuben: the Hanokite clan from Hanok, the Paluite clan from Palu, the Hezronite clan from Hezron, and the Carmite clan from Carmi. These were the clans of Reuben, and their registration numbered 43,730. Now the son of Palu was Eliab, and the sons of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. It was Dathan and Abiram, chosen by the congregation, who fought against Moses and Aaron with the followers of Korah who rebelled against the Lord. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them along with Korah, whose followers died when the fire consumed 250 men. They serve as a warning sign. However, the line of Korah did not die out. These were the descendants of Simeon by their clans: the Nemuelite clan from Nemuel, the Jaminite clan from Jamin, the Jachinite clan from Jachin, the Zerahite clan from Zerah, and the Shaolite clan from Shaul. These were the clans of Simeon, and there were 22,200 men. These were the descendants of Gad by their clans: the Zephonite clan from Zephan, the Haggite clan from Haggi, the Shunite clan from Shuni, the Oznite clan from Ozni, the Erite clan from Eri, the Erodite clan from Erod, and the Erelite clan from Areli. These were the clans of Gad, and their registration numbered 40,500. The sons of Judah were and Onan, but they died in the land of Canaan. These were the descendants of Judah by their clans: the Shilonite clan from Shelah, the Perizzite clan from Perez, and the Zerahite clan from Zerah. And these were the descendants of Perez: the Hezronite clan from Hezron, and the Hamelite clan from Hamel. These were the clans of Judah, and their registration numbered 76,500. These were the descendants of Issachar by their clans: the Tolite clan from Tola, the Punite clan from Puva, the Jashubite clan from Jashub, and the Shimronite clan from Shimron. These were the clans of Issachar, and their registration numbered 64,300. These were the descendants of Zebulun by their clans: the Seredite clan from Sered, the Elonite clan from Elon, and the Jaleelite clan from Jaleel. These were the clans of Zebulun, and their registration numbered 60,500. The descendants of Joseph included the clans of Manasseh and Ephraim. These were the descendants of Manasseh. The Machirite clan from Machir, the father of Gilead, and the Gileadite clan from Gilead. These were the descendants of Gilead. The Irazite clan from Izer, the Hilekite clan from Hilek, the Asrielite clan from Asriel, the Shechemite clan from Shechem, the Shemidite clan from Shemida, and the Hepherite clan from Hepher. Now Zelophehad, son of Hepher, had no sons, but only daughters. The names of his daughters were Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. These were the clans of Manasseh, and their registration numbered 52,700. These were the descendants of Ephraim by their clans. The Shethulahite clan from Shethullah, the Becherite clan from Becher, and the Tahanite clan from Tahan. And the descendants of Shethullah were the Aaronite clan from Eran. These were the clans of Ephraim, and their registration numbered 32,500. These clans were the descendants of Joseph. These were the descendants of Benjamin by their clans, the Belite clan from Bela, the Ashbelite clan from Ashbel, the Ahiramite clan from Ahiram, the Shuphamite clan from Shupham, and the Huphamite clan from Hupham. And the descendants of Bela from Ard and Naaman were the Ardite clan from Ard and the Naamite clan from Naaman. These were the clans of Benjamin, and their registration numbered 45,600. These were the descendants of Dan by their clans, the Shuhamite clan from Shuham. These were the clans of Dan. All of them were Shuhamite clans, and their registration numbered 64,400. These were the descendants of Asher by their clans, the Imnite clan from Imnah, the Ishvite clan from Ishvi, and the Beerite clan from Beriah. And these were the descendants of Beriah, the Heberite clan from Heber, and the Malchielite clan from Malchiel. And the name of Asher's daughter was Serah. These were the clans of Asher, and their registration numbered 53,400. These were the descendants of Naphtali by their clans, the Jazielite clan from Jaziel, the Gunite clan from Guni, the Jezerite clan from Jezer, and the Shilamite clan from Shillam. These were the clans of Naphtali, and their registration numbered 45,400. These men of Israel numbered 601,730 in all. Then the Lord said to Moses, "The land is to be divided among the tribes as an inheritance according to the number of names. Increase the inheritance for a large tribe and decrease it for a small one. Each tribe is to receive its inheritance according to the number of those registered. Indeed, the land must be divided by lot. They shall receive their inheritance according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. Each inheritance is to be divided by lot among the larger and smaller tribes." Now these were the Levites numbered by their clans, the Gershonite clan from Gershon, the Kohathite clan from Kohath, and the Merarite clan from Merari. These were the families of the Levites, the Libnite clan, the Hebronite clan, the Malite clan, the Mushite clan, and the Korahite clan. Now Kohath was the father of Amram, and Amram's wife was named Jochebed. She was also a daughter of Levi, born to Levi in Egypt. To Amram she bore Aaron, Moses, and their sister Miriam. Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar were born to Aaron, but Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. The registration of the Levites totaled 23,000, every male a month old or more. They were not numbered among the other Israelites because no inheritance was given to them among the Israelites. These were the ones numbered by Moses and Eleazar the priest when they counted the Israelites on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. Among all these, however, there was not one who had been numbered by Moses and Aaron the priest when they counted the Israelites in the wilderness of Sinai, for the Lord had told them that they would surely die in the wilderness. Not one was left except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. Now the daughters of Zelophehad, son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, belonged to the clans of Manasseh, son of Joseph. These were the names of his daughters, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They approached the entrance to the tent of meeting, stood before Moses, Eleazar the priest, the leaders, and the whole congregation, and said, Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not among the followers of Korah who gathered together against the Lord. Instead, he died because of his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father disappear from his clan because he had no sons? Give us property among our father's brothers." So Moses brought their case before the Lord, and the Lord answered him, "The daughters of Zelophehad speak correctly. You certainly must give them property as an inheritance among their father's brothers, and transfer their father's inheritance to them. Furthermore, you shall say to the Israelites, if a man dies and leaves no son, you are to transfer his inheritance to his daughter. If he has no daughter, give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. And if his father has no brothers, give his inheritance to the next of kin from his clan, that he may take possession of it. This is to be a statutory ordinance for the Israelites, as the Lord has commanded Moses." Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go up this mountain of the Abarim range and see the land that I have given the Israelites. After you have seen it, you too will be gathered to your people, as your brother Aaron was. For when the congregation contended in the wilderness of Zin, both of you rebelled against my command to show my holiness in their sight regarding the waters. Those were the waters of Meribah in Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin." So Moses appealed to the Lord, "May the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a man over the congregation who will go out and come in before them, and who will lead them out and bring them in, so that the congregation of the Lord will not be like sheep without a shepherd." And the Lord replied to Moses, "Take Joshua son of Nun, a man with the Spirit on him, and lay your hands on him. Have him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation, and commission him in their sight. Confer on him some of your authority, so that the whole congregation of Israel will obey him. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who will seek counsel for him before the Lord by the judgment of the Urim. At his command, he and all the Israelites with him, the entire congregation, will go out and come in." Moses did as the Lord had commanded him. He took Joshua, had him stand before Eleazar the priest and the whole congregation, and laid his hands on him and commissioned him, as the Lord had instructed through Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Command the Israelites and say to them, see that you present to me at its appointed time the food for my offerings by fire as a pleasing aroma to me. And tell them that this is the offering made by fire you are to present to the Lord as a regular burnt offering each day, 2 unblemished year-old male lambs. Offer 1 lamb in the morning and the other at twilight, along with 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 hin of oil from pressed olives. This is a regular burnt offering established at Mount Sinai as a pleasing aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. The drink offering accompanying each lamb shall be 1/4 hin. Pour out the offering of fermented drink to the Lord in the sanctuary area, and offer the second lamb at twilight with the same grain offering and drink offering as in the morning. It is an offering made by fire, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. On the Sabbath day, present 2 unblemished year-old male lambs, accompanied by a grain offering of 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil, as well as a drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. At the beginning of every month, you are to present to the Lord a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering with each bull, 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering with the ram, and 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering with each lamb. This is a burnt offering, a pleasing aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Their drink offerings shall be 1/2 hin of wine with each bull, 1/3 of a hin with a ram, and 1/4 hin with each lamb. This is the monthly burnt offering to be made at each new moon throughout the year. In addition to the regular burnt offering with its drink offering, 1 male goat is to be presented to the Lord as a sin offering. The 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover. On the 15th day of this month there shall be a feast. For 7 days unleavened bread is to be eaten. On the first day, there is to be a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work. Present to the Lord an offering made by fire, a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished. The grain offering shall consist of fine flour mixed with oil. Offer 3/10 of an ephah with each bull, 2/10 of an ephah with a ram, and 1/10 of an ephah with each of the 7 lambs. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. You are to present these in addition to the regular morning burnt offering. Offer the same food each day for 7 days as an offering made by fire, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. It is to be offered with its drink offering and the regular burnt offering. On the 7th day you shall hold a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work. On the day of first fruits, when you present an offering of new grain to the Lord during the Feast of Weeks, you are to hold a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work. Present a burnt offering of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, as a pleasing aroma to the Lord, together with their grain offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah with each bull, 2/10 of an ephah with a ram, and 1/10 of an ephah with each of the 7 lambs. Include 1 male goat to make atonement for you. Offer them with their drink offerings in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering. The animals must be unblemished. On the first day of the 7th month, you are to hold a sacred assembly, and you must not do any regular work. This will be a day for you to sound the trumpets. As a pleasing aroma to the Lord, you are to present a burnt offering of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, together with their grain offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah with the bull, 2/10 of an ephah with the ram, and 1/10 of an ephah with each of the 7 male lambs. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. These are in addition to the monthly and daily burnt offerings with their prescribed grain offerings and drink offerings. They are a pleasing aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. On the 10th day of this 7th month, you are to hold a sacred assembly, and you shall humble yourselves. You must not do any work. Present as a pleasing aroma to the Lord a burnt offering of 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, together with their grain offerings of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah with a bull, 2/10 of an ephah with a ram, and 1/10 of an ephah with each of the 7 lambs. Include 1 male goat for a sin offering in addition to the sin offering of atonement and the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offerings. On the 15th day of the 7th month, you are to hold a sacred assembly. You must not do any regular work, and you shall observe a feast to the Lord for 7 days. As a pleasing aroma to the Lord, you are to present an offering made by fire, a burnt offering of 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with a grain offering of 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil with each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 of an ephah with each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 of an ephah with each of the 14 lambs. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 2nd day, you are to present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 3rd day, you are to present 11 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs, according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 4th day, you are to present 10 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 5th day, you are to present 9 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 6th day, you are to present 8 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 7th day, you are to present 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. On the 8th day, you are to hold a solemn assembly. You must not do any regular work. As a pleasing aroma to the Lord, you are to present an offering made by fire, a burnt offering of 1 bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs a year old, all unblemished, along with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to the number prescribed. Include 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offering. You are to present these offerings to the Lord at your appointed times, in addition to your vow and free will offerings, whether burnt offerings, grain offerings, drink offerings, or peace offerings. So Moses spoke all this to the Israelites, just as the Lord had commanded him. All right, and now let's go to the New Testament in Luke chapter 2. All right, last time in the book of Luke, we began it with chapter 1. And at the beginning, Luke is writing to this person, Theophilus, and giving him an orderly account of everything. It seemed like Theophilus had already heard these things, but Luke says, I'm putting everything in order as I've carefully researched it. And so then we start with Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, seeing the angel in the temple, being promised that he would have a son, even though he and his wife were old and had never had children. Then the same angel, Gabriel, goes to Mary and tells her that she's going to have a child, even though she's a virgin, and explains that this will be the Son of God. And she accepts that. She's also told that Elizabeth, Zechariah's wife, is pregnant and they're relatives, so she goes and visits her as well and spends some time with her. Then we see John being born and the prophecies surrounding him as his father speaks these great prophecies about how John is going to prepare the way for the Lord. All right, let's go ahead and get into the reading in John chapter 2. Now in those days a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that a census should be taken of the whole empire. This was the first census to take place while Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone went to his own town to register. So Joseph also went up from Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to the city of David called Bethlehem, since he was from the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to him in marriage and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for her child to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in swaddling cloths and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were shepherds residing in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks by night. Just then an angel of the Lord stood before them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. Today in the city of David a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in swaddling cloths and lying in a manger." And suddenly there appeared with the angel a great multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. After they had seen the child, they spread the message they had received about him, and all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen, which was just as the angel had told them. When the 8 days until his circumcision had passed, he was named Jesus, the name the angel had given him before he had been conceived. And when the time of purification according to the law of Moses was complete, His parents brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every firstborn male shall be consecrated to the Lord. And to offer the sacrifice specified in the law of the Lord, a pair of turtle doves or 2 young pigeons. Now there was a man in Jerusalem named Simeon, who was righteous and devout. He was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was upon him. The Holy Spirit had revealed to him that he would not see death before he had seen the Lord's Christ. Led by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts. And when the parents brought in the child, Jesus, to do for him what was customary under the law, Simeon took him in his arms and blessed God, saying, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you now dismiss your servant in peace. For my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all people, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and for glory to your people Israel." The child's father and mother were amazed at what was spoken about him. Then Simeon blessed them and said to his mother Mary, "Behold, this child is appointed to cause the rise and fall of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed, and a sword will pierce your soul as well." There was also a prophetess named Anna, the daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher, who was well along in years. She had been married for 7 years, and then was a widow to the age of 84. She never left the temple, but worshipped night and day, fasting and praying. Coming forward at that moment, she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were waiting for the redemption of Jerusalem. When Jesus' parents had done everything required by the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee to their own town of Nazareth. And the child grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was upon him. Every year his parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of the Passover, and when he was 12 years old, they went up according to the custom of the feast. When those days were over and they were returning home, the boy Jesus remained behind in Jerusalem, but his parents were unaware that he had stayed. Assuming he was in their company, they traveled on for a day before they began to look for him among their relatives and friends. When they could not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to search for him. Finally, after 3 days, they found him in the temple courts, sitting among the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. "Child, why have you done this to us?" his mother asked. "Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you looking for me?" he asked. "Did you not know that I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand the statement he was making to them. Then he went down to Nazareth with them and was obedient to them. But his mother treasured up all these things in her heart. And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, and in favor with God and man. All right. In today's reading in Numbers, we saw that we're dealing with a new generation of people. The old generation had died out in these 40 years in the wilderness. They're just about to cross over and enter into the promised land. And so Moses is addressing this group of people who were children or teenagers when they came out of Egypt, who had seen the things, but they were not the decision makers or the soldiers at the time of the rebellion. And so they were there as the people of God. And they took a second census. So they had taken the census after they had come out of Egypt and counted all the people. The reason for the book being called Numbers. And now we see new numbers, the numbers of the people who were there after all these people had died in the wilderness. One of the men who had died in the wilderness was a man named Zelophehad, and his daughters came. And he only had daughters. And so we see the inheritance rights included daughters. They were not just left out. But if there were sons, then the sons would be the ones who inherited. But God said, no, what these women are saying is right. But there were rules about who they could marry in order to keep the land, the property, the inheritance in the tribe that it was given to by God. So this is very important. that what is given by God must be kept by the one that it's given to. We also see Joshua being commissioned as the new leader because Moses is going to die, and he even asks God, appoint a new leader. And Joshua is the one who's been prepared all along. He's been Moses' assistant, and so he's fully prepared to do this work. There's also instructions about how they're to worship with the different festivals, and I assume that that's mostly because this is a new generation, and there is a focus on remembering when you go into the land, this is what God expects from you, and it's what's good for you. In the book of Luke, we read about how Jesus was born in Bethlehem, but raised in Nazareth. We saw him being presented at the temple, and the prophet and prophetess who came and spoke about him to Joseph and Mary and to the people around about this baby who is going to be the Savior of the world. We also saw Jesus as a boy at 12 years old in the temple with great wisdom, asking questions, but also answering questions. And his parents didn't even know where he was. So they had to come looking for him and found him after 3 days. He wasn't being rebellious. He just said, well, shouldn't you know that I'll be in my Father's house? Jesus knew that he was the Son of God. And so he was in his Father's house. But he was also submissive to Joseph and Mary and set an example in even that as a boy. All right, well, that's the reading for today. So join me tomorrow as we continue on the Berean pursuit.